Good morning, good morning, good morning. It is Wisdom Wednesday, and it's Dr. Herbert Harris here. Well, it finally stopped raining. Well, at least temporarily. I tell you, it's been raining so much that we all need to have a hammer, some nails, and some lumber, because something is going on the planet. I think the planet is fighting back after years of abuse by people, and also let's just say the universe has a perspective on a lot of the stuff going on in the world, and so it's speaking loud and clear. Well, Wisdom Wednesday, Dr. Herbert Harris. We're talking today. Today I'm looking at something in chapter 7 of our book, The 12 Universal Laws of Success. And, many times you read stuff in the book and, it's like, yeah, that's good stuff. But then when you really get a chance to experience it, it's a different ball game. And so the topic today is really, I'll call it action timetable, and that just means to have a schedule for doing things. And when we look at what we have to do each day, I have found that if I don't have a schedule, it's not enough to have a list of things to do. But if I don't have a time schedule of when those things are supposed to be done, it makes a big, big difference in the results I get at the end of the day. And so this topic came about because one of my resolutions for the month of August, and really for the rest of the year, is each morning I write a recap of the day before. And so yesterday, I had a lot of stuff today. I had therapy, physical therapy, to take Sandra to the doctor, had a lot of stuff going on. So I was out of the office a lot. But I got back to the office and I had really laid out the things to do that were important. I always make a list of the 6, I call it the big 6. And these are the 6 most important things that you should get accomplished that day, with the most critical one, the most important one, the highest priority at the top. And so when you work through your day and you go through your big 6, it's a great day when you get to the bottom of the 6 and you get all the big 6 done, because the big 6 are those things necessary for tomorrow and the next day. Many times when we have things to do, it's not just a matter that it does or does not get done today, but it's the impact that activity will have on next week or next month. Just in a simplistic fashion, if your water bill was due on the 15th, and if you have not paid it by the 29th, they're going to cut you off on the 30th. Well, if you forget to pay it on the 29th, when you get up on the 30th and go for your shower, it's not going to work. And so that's a simplistic way of looking at it. But as we go through our lives, as we do the things that we want to do to create the lives that we desire, this idea of your action timetable is critical. So what happened was, when I sat down to write my list of things accomplished yesterday, and I looked at the big 6, I only hit 2 out of the 6. And man, I was like, whoa, what happened? But once I went back and started reconstructing the day in my mind, I got back from taking her to therapy about 2:30. 2:30, I get a call. Very important call. I was on that call for 58 minutes. So there was an hour. Now, was that a necessary call? Not 58 minutes worth. And what I could have done and should have done was focused on my big six and brought that call to an end. Everything on that call could have been handled in 15 minutes. So a major problem on the call was not the other person, was me talking so doggone much. So that's a lesson to each of us. When we interact with other people, it's not necessary to tell your whole history, to be very measured in what you say and let your dialogue be in line with the time you have allotted to do the things that are important. So 58 minutes, gone. About an hour later, person call, great call, powerful stuff. Another 58 minutes. So now 2 hours are gone out of the day. And these are 2 hours that when I laid out my action plan for yesterday, I had scheduled, I'm going to be speaking in Raleigh this weekend. So I'm doing I'm working on a peace and reconciliation conference, and I'm one of the presenters, and it's going to be a dialogue group about how to bring about peace in the world. And then that Sunday, I'm speaking at the Unity Church of Raleigh. And my topic, by the way, is it's never too late to be great. And then after that, I'm doing a workshop, a seminar on applying the spiritual laws of success, tying in biblical principles, spiritual principles, and putting them into an action paradigm. But those 2 hours I lost. Later that day, I had other things to do. I went to the post office. You know, when I realized my time, one of the things about setting a timetable, an action timetable, is that when you mess up, when you miss what you were supposed to do, go to the next thing in the timetable. In other words, don't let the inefficient use of time impact the rest of the day. So go straight to your 4 o'clock events. So I'd already lost, and I'm not going to say lost, they were great conversations, but the 2 hours were gone. So go to the next event to get back on schedule. That makes sense? Once you go to that next event, you get back on schedule, bingo, they right on schedule, took care of banking, had some checks that I needed to get out and put in the bank. There was a book I needed to send to a very, very, very important person. Thank you, lessons. To send to a very, very important person who is coming back. They're out of the country. They'll be back in about a week and a half. And I want that book there when they come back. Once again, understanding straight constraints. Knowing now, with this, crappy mail system we have, book rate takes 5 days, 6 days. So it was critical to get it out back to have the impact that I wanted to have. So that when that person gets back and goes to their office, that book should be sitting right on his desk. You see what I'm saying? I'm painting a picture of how to design and execute your day in a way to get the maximum results. So 4 o'clock, I'm back on track, to the bank, to the post office. And it was interesting. By the time I was like, oh man, it's only 3 minutes to closing at the post office. And that post office is known for closing up. And they say 5 o'clock. They mean that door is closed at 5 o'clock. But that day they had somebody at the counter, got in. I got right in at 5, got the package out. So 2 very, very, very important accomplishments. On the way back, I stopped at the gas station, and one of my friends who I've been very concerned about, I said, let me just give them a ring and check on them. Gave them a ring, and they were in a situation where they really needed to talk. Guess what? 58 minutes. And so 3 hours of my day were taken doing things that I had not anticipated doing and had not planned to do. Now, I'm sharing this with you because I know this happens to you. And one of the keys to look at it is if I were not writing down the things I accomplished the day before, I would not necessarily be aware of the 3 hours that had been sort of, I'll say, stolen. But I think, nobody stole them. I misappropriated them. Let's put it on me. Okay, 3 hours that I misappropriated for whatever reason. And so the lesson today is, I recommend that if you want to operate on a high level of efficiency and effectiveness, then at the end of each day, the next morning, write what you accomplished the day before. And basically it does a couple of things. It helps improve your memory. It helps you reconstruct the day, and it helps you examine and monitor your progress. You can do it that night, but for some reason, I prefer doing it the next morning. But when you do that now, you have a snapshot of what you accomplished, and you have a guideline to help you make modifications and adjustments so that you can be more efficient. You try to, at the end of last night, I knew that I was out of cycle. And so I stayed up a little extra, but, your health is critical. So you must have regular, regimented sleeping times. So now my commitment is to get 6.5 hours sleep every night. I normally operate on 4 to 5 hours. Okay? But I found that even though I can do it by mentally, but during the day I'll be sleepy, and it's easy for me to nod off. And those who've been around me, I can fall asleep in a minute. And so my body said, you need more sleep. So I'm actually heading for 7 hours sleep each night. That means you have to go to bed at a certain time and get up at a certain time. So all of these things now I'm sharing with you because as you look at where you are this year, and we're now in the second half of the year, and we're really, well into the third quarter. And so what we need to do now is, what can we do to be most efficient in getting the things done? So let's hit a couple. Number one, you've got to have a clear vision of what you want to be, do, and have. What is it that you're working for? What is your vision for the end of this year? 2, you've got to have goals that lead you to your vision. And these are monthly goals, weekly goals, daily goals. 3, you have to operate from a written plan every day. And that written plan should be laid out the night before so that you give your subconscious mind a chance to help you get things done. In laying out your written plan for tomorrow, it's not enough to just list the activities. You have to schedule the activities and the time allotted for them. 4, the next day, if you have to get up a little early, do so. But write all of your accomplishments for the prior day. Recap your activities of the prior day. As you recap and summarize how you spent the hours of the entire day, and I'm going to put a little caveat here. If you look at each day at the time that you allocate to each activity, if you have the mindset of invest. So how much time did you invest in the things that you had to do. So leave enough investment time to accomplish each thing. Write it, review that day, the next morning, write your list of things out. And now make adjustments. So you made your list last night, okay? That's based on what you know you have coming up. When you've made your summary of what you did yesterday, that helps you adjust a bit in your mindset. And you may make some adjustments to your daily list, but it should make you much more aware of how you allocated your time the prior day and make you keenly aware that you have to do better today. Once you made that decision to do better each day with the use of your time, then you'll find that you have your big six. Remember I said every day, the big six critical, important things to be accomplished each day. Not just 6 willy-nilly things that would be good to do, but 6 important things that really impact your goals and your vision. And now when you review all of that stuff and you look at each day, what you'll find is that if you operate in this systematic fashion, each day you'll get better and better. Each day you'll find that you are able now to accomplish more and have a much, much better delivery of desired results. You always get results, but desired results. So when you can do that, when you can follow this daily action timetable and monitor your progress, you will always get better and better and better. And you put yourself in the best position to accomplish the things you want to do. So that's the message for today. Each day is a gift from God. What you do with each day is a gift to God. You know the parable of the talents. God has given you a day. If you don't work it and make that day productive, preparing you for the next day, then you'll find that God will take away the results that you could have gotten. This is Dr. Herbert Harris. This is Wisdom Wednesday. I thank you so much for joining us. I invite you to go to our website, herbertharris.com. You can get a copy of the 12 Universal Laws of Success, and even more importantly, you can schedule a success consultation so that I can help you be what you want to be, do what you want to do, and have anything you desire. Good morning, Eric. Good seeing you. Once again, remember this. You can be what you want to be, do what you want to do, and have anything you desire, always knowing that the best is yet to come.